by a controversial former politician. Tony Blair has released his memoirs, and the former British Prime Minister is not pulling any punches.
Today, British bookstores stocked up on Tony Blair's long-awaited memoir.
Everyone's been wondering, what's he going to say? Is he going to spill the beans? Is he going to be critical?
The answer is yes on all counts, especially when it comes to Blair's relationship with his former right-hand man and successor, Gordon Brown. A maddening, strange guy. Emotional intelligence zero, Blair writes. Blair remains unrepentant about joining George Bush in the war on Iraq, but in a book launch interview, he regretted the human cost of the conflict.
How can you not feel sorry about people who have died? I mean, you would be inhuman if you didn't think that.
You know quite a lot about Tony Blair. What was going through his mind at certain crucial moments throughout it all? Not just the difficult moments, like Iraq, of course, but a lot of the smaller times too, the more intimate moments of being Prime Minister.
One of those intimate moments involved a conversation with the late Princess Diana. Blair told her relationship with Dodi Al-Fayed was a problem. After Diana and Dodi were killed in a Paris car crash, he says the Queen was haughty when Blair advised her to learn lessons from the tragedy.
Prime Minister of the United Kingdom.
Another intimate encounter was with Canadian Prime Minister Jean Chrétien, who Blair calls a very wise, wily, and experienced old bird. When Blair sought Chrétien's advice on a British outbreak of foot and mouth disease, he was told, "Watch that, young Tony. Watch it very carefully. That's trouble." In a surprising admission, Blair admits he sometimes turned to alcohol. A stiff whiskey or G&T before dinner, a couple of glasses of wine, or even half a bottle with it. I had a limit, but I was aware that it had become a prop. If, as expected, Blair's book is a bestseller, it'll be very good news for the Royal British Legion. Blair's donating his advance, reputed to be $6 million, and any profits to the charity, which helps active British service personnel and veterans.
CHEK News is brought to you in part by Island Farms. Every drop delicious.
Greek Fest is a time for food, fun, and joyful shots of Opa, showcasing the Greek culture in BC. Nothing over 20 different performance groups and an abundance of delicious Greek food. The 9th annual Victoria Greek Fest, September 1st through the Labor Day long weekend, next to Commonwealth Pool.
You and your family can experience the magic. A living natural history event, the envy of the world. Book now with Whale Watch at Telegraph Cove with Stubbs Island Whale Watching. See the majesty of British Columbia's wild side. Right now, enjoy discounts on morning excursions. Make your BC staycation one your family will remember for years. Experience the magic. Call Stubbs Island Whale Watching today or find out more online.
End of the roll. Your flooring. Right here, right now, right price.
Here's our look at sports now. Here's Jeff.
Yeah, thanks very much, Tony. With just 6 games left in the regular season, the Victoria Seals would have to win every single one for any chance of seeing the postseason. Seals played game 2 of 3 tonight in Edmonton. They beat the Capitals, Victoria winners 4-3. That's the good news. Now, the bad news is that the Calgary Vipers were winners as well, so the Seals still trail the first-place Vipers by 3.5 games. The Seals wrap things up in Edmonton tomorrow night before returning home for their final 4 games of the regular season, starting Friday night at Royal Athletic Park. Well, it's Canada's national summer sport, and it's one of the fastest-growing games in North America, but while indoor box has dominated the local lacrosse community, field lacrosse is a much more widely played game on the international stage. Now, this has been proven by Simon Fraser University's men's field lacrosse team for more than a decade. The Klansmen compete against big-name colleges south of the border. The SFU squad often draws from Vancouver Island's strong talent pool. The team is a tight-knit group, passionate about winning and giving back. There's an old saying that the boys of summer play baseball, but the men of summer play lacrosse, box lacrosse. But Nanaimo's Russell Thomas begs to differ.
Box lacrosse is so much fun, and I mean, all my buddies back home in Nanaimo would probably make fun of me for saying it, but I've got more of a field build, I'd call it.
Thomas and his teammates are helping younger players at this development camp. He enjoys grooming the next generation, but for the past 4 years, Thomas has been a dominating force with the SFU Klansmen.
First team All-American, first All-Star, all-conference recognition, both at the in our conference level and at the national level, as well as national championship tournament All-Star status.
That's right, American first team All-Star. SFU is the only Canadian team playing in the MCLA, a high-level collegiate club lacrosse league that competes against NCAA clubs.
We compete against the University of Washington, the University of Oregon, the University of Oregon State, Portland State University, University of Idaho.
As for Russell, he says he's enjoying his time at SFU and is quick to thank his coaches who were there from day one.
My coach, Jeff Cathley's from Nanaimo too, so we had a connection right away. I mean, it was nice to be involved with a guy from a hometown. It made it a little easier to mesh with the program and whatnot.
Fun is what drove Russell to keep playing. It's also what he hopes kids experience every time they take to the field.
Just have some fun with it. And I mean, it could take you all the way to the pros if you're having fun with it. And if you're not, I mean, whatever, try something else.
Exactly. Simply try something else, just as long as it's not baseball. Well, the saga that refuses to end once again, as the NHL and the Players Association have mutually agreed to extend the deadline to accept or reject the latest contract between Ilya Kovalchuk and the New Jersey Devils until Friday. If the NHL turns it down, it would be the second time a long-term deal between Kovalchuk and the Devils has been rejected. The NHLPA would then have another 5-day window to file a grievance, something they did once before when the league chose not to allow the original 17-year, $102 million contract the Devils gave the Russian sniper. Of course, the rest of the league will be looking to see what happens there. Well, no, Tony. These football players are not searching for a lost contact. These are Miami Dolphin players not trying to get in some extra stretches after practice. They're on a hunt for a teammate's missing jewelry. Defensive tackle Kendall Langford lost a 2.5-carat diamond earring on the field yesterday. He said he forgot he was wearing the rock when he started practice. His teammates helped him search, even raking the field, but even as of this afternoon, the diamond, which is valued at $50,000, is still missing. That is why I take mine off before I come here and play with you every night.
Good. I don't have a rake here, so that's probably a good thing. Going to the fair, some special visitors head to the P&E. That story is still to come on CHEK News. We'll be back in a moment.
This program is brought to you by Halojet, flying you carbon neutral between Victoria and Vancouver.
Well, folks, it ain't over yet. She's right in the middle of it. I think she has time for one more. She's going for it.
And having a great time. Very smooth, and that's why she owns the cup.
Absolutely amazing.
Looking good.
1 year ago, these doors were about to close on 53 years of history.
CHEK News was about to fade to black.
It was your support that kept CHEK on the air.
Covering stories happening in communities right across the island. On Monday, September 6th, we want to thank you. So we're throwing a party.
For our viewers, thank you for watching. And thanks for telling us your stories. And thank you
to our remarkable advertisers
who support your island station.
Join us Labor Day Monday
from 4 to 7 at our Victoria studios.
We want to shake your hand and say thanks.
We wouldn't be here now without you.
Join CHEK as we celebrate 1 year as an independently owned station. Monday, September 6th. P80s, pet walks, headbands, thriller jackets, and your kitchen was totally awesome. Now flash to the 21st century. Times have changed, and so should the look of your cabinets. Let the Island's own kitchen technician take you back to the future. Revitalize your look with new doors and panels, add moldings, light fixtures, and create new space for today's appliances. The kitchen technician can make it happen. Save money, the environment, and your self-respect. Call for your free consultation. The Kitchen Technician, now open in Nanaimo.
Closed captioning presented in part by the good advice of Splashes.
The Pacific National Exhibition can be a movable feast of sights, sounds, and smells. For most people, that's one of the attractions of the annual fair, but for some, the PNE's mayhem can also be a training ground, teaching calm amid the chaos.
The PNE can be a sensory overload for many visitors. But imagine this chaos through the eyes and ears of a young assistance dog like Jenga. For her, this is all a part of her training on how to stay calm amid the mayhem.
It is really crazy for the dogs. Most of the dogs have been here before, as we hold a puppy class here every year. Jenga's pretty comfortable here. She's relaxing beside me on the ground, so she's calm so far.
The Pacific Assistance Dog Society helps breed and then train puppies. The dogs will eventually help disabled people to live independently. Trainers like Jackie Clark bring the dogs here to the clamor of the PNE every year. She says it's the most challenging place in Vancouver for them to learn.
The PNE is kind of our dream in terms of a socialization experience. It offers so much that you can't get anywhere else. There's noise, there's movement, there's lights, there's lots of people, food on the ground, farm animals.
The puppies learn to quietly navigate the crowds, walking past screaming teenagers on noisy rides, ignoring the tempting sense of the food fair and the even more tempting smell of the barn. That's where they bump into these guys. It's a shocking scene for at least this puppy.
You'll get dogs that are terrified of the animals that you're then trying to work closer. It really keeps the trainers on their toes.
But after they visited the fair a few times, most of the puppies are as much at ease here as they are at home, especially if there are treats at the end of the day.
Perfect girl. That was awesome. What a good girl.
You asked me when it was my last trip to the PNE.
Yeah.
It was last year.
Oh, was it?
And I actually sampled for the first time those little donuts that everyone goes for. What are they?
The mini donuts, right to your hips. That's where they go.
Yeah, but they are so good.
They are. I usually get pizza, mini donuts, one of the carameled apples,
and hardening of the items.
Yeah.
That's it for us. Thanks for watching. Dana Hutchings is next with Island 30. We'll see you tomorrow night. Good night.